Good morning and welcome, stitchy friends. Welcome to my channel. This is all about cross stitch and my name is Tricia and all I want to do is stitch. Welcome if you're returning. I love having you back and I love all the comments that you leave. I read every single one of them. Not always getting back to everybody, but I do. I place a heart so you know that I have read your comment. Today is Monday, May the 25th. And you know, the best laid plans of mice and men. Story of my life right now, but that's okay. You know, life is life and actually I wouldn't change it. So, yeah. So my plan was to do a 24 hours of cross stitch, starting Sunday, going through Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. Well, I had my granddaughter's dancing recital, which I thought was Saturday, and then I thought about it and it was actually Sunday. So I started the 24 hours of cross stitch on Saturday, and then I was asked, would you be willing to come and take my son to his surgery on Wednesday morning? He has to be there by 6:15. My daughter-in-law is going away on a conference, so I need to be there Monday evening so that I can see the kids on the bus Monday morning, because my son starts work at 6:15 or something crazy like that. So yeah, so I'm leaving in about 1:30. I don't know what the time is now, probably 11:45, something like that on the Monday morning. So that plan went right out the window, and I thought, oh well, when I get back on Wednesday I can start the 24 hours of cross stitch Thursday, Friday and Saturday. But no, because I'm having my granddaughter for Friday night and Saturday night, and we'll take her home again on Sunday. So the full 24 hours of cross stitch will be starting June the 1st. What a great day to start, right? Beginning of the month, get some stitches in, get some packing done. I did do some packing. On Saturday I did 820 stitches because I thought I was doing the 24 hours of cross stitch. I got 820 stitches in that day. I touched 3 whips and I packed 6 boxes. In total I have packed 21 boxes in a week. So what I'm going to do next Monday, even though I'm talking about plans before I show you any stitching that I've done. There's an area, don't we all have areas in our homes? So in my basement, I have a storage area. I mean, it's not a huge amount of stuff. It's just like, oh, I really don't want to go through that. I need to reduce it, ideally by 2/3. I'm not sure if that is even possible, but you know, I'll give it a go. So yeah, so I will take a photo so you know exactly what I'm tackling. So from the 1st of June, 1st, 2nd and 3rd of June, that's the area I'm going to tackle, and I'll pack whatever's down there and donate and whatever. So that will be the strategy for next week. However, let's get into this week. So since Wednesday, because I did a video on Wednesday, I've touched 4 projects. So what I'll do is I'll start with the first one. And this is the Haid cell, the Wise and Brave. It is on 25 count gridded Lugana. I'm just trying to get you a photo. Come on, let me get the cover page here. And here it is. I'm sure you've probably seen this before if you're around floss tube. Isn't that adorable? So I put in, oh, how many stitches did I put in on this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1,300 stitches in total for last week from Monday to Sunday. And oh my goodness, I have a robin coming. I'll show you like this. So I stitched 25 count 1/1 on Lugana, and that's generally all of my full coverage projects I stitch this way. But look, I got some red in the robin. Yay! I love stitching on this, and this morning I pretty much finished his beak. So yeah, I got 200 stitches in him this morning, and I'm going to take it with me to my son's in the hopes that I'll get some stitching done. We can hope. The best thing you can do is make the plan. If it doesn't actually work out, then, you know, what can I say? Not all is lost, that's all. Okay, and the next project I worked on, I put 500 stitches in this one. This is called Santa Nutcracker. It's a mini, and it's an artisy chart. And there's a story with this one. So, like I said, I like to stitch all of my full coverage projects on 25 count 1/1 full cross. I can't do the half across. It just doesn't seem natural to me. So this would have been my starting point. Here it is. Look at all those stitches. But every time I get this out, this is a 20 count. It's not even cotton. Oh, I can see somebody has scratched this, but never mind. It doesn't even feel like cotton. It's synthetic. So anyway, I decided, you know, in my infinite wisdom, that I'm just not going to do that. I am going to stitch on what I like to stitch, and I am not going to suffer through that. So I started again. So this is where I'm at. It got 500 stitches, and it was so nice because I also like to do the stitching mummies typing method, basically. So I pick a symbol in a 10 by 10 block and go across, all the way across. And I really, really enjoy stitching that way. Don't know what it is, but I really enjoy it. So I put 500 stitches into this, 1/1 full cross, and this has actually been called again on Whip Go. This was a Whip Go call last month, and now it's been called again. So it'll get another 500 stitches in it. But it looks so much nicer. This one, this is, and maybe it's just me, this is 20 count 2/1. And I just didn't like it. I mean, it looks okay, but I don't like stitching on the fabric. So it's going bye-bye today. And this is where I'm at now. And that'll be my starting point as well for Whip Go. So yeah, that's the story of the Nutcracker. The next project I worked on was another whip go core because I was way behind because we were away. And where is it? This is where I started. This is Charlotte Warrington. That was my starting point. And this is what it'll look like when it's finished. This was an exclusive from the Needlework Press. So it's Charlotte Warrington 1838. And this was in 2024, and I am stitching it with all the DMC colors. You can do it with MPIs or Weeks Dye Works, but I decided I'm just going to do DMC. This is going to take a very long time to finish. Here it is. And I was really starting to enjoy this. It's being stitched on a 36 count 1/2, obviously full cross. Let me just wrangle this. This is a 36 count Hog's Bristle by Fox and Rabbit, but it's really starting to look quite nice. Yeah, when you have big pieces of fabric, it takes a long time to wrangle fabric so you can actually see it nicely. Here it is. So what I did, I filled in this flower. I put in the green, the yellow and the green around here, and I did these green bubbles. But yeah, so I started probably over here and went all the way around twice with different colors, filled in the flower and did the green bubbles, and I started this flower here. So I really like that. I need to think about, because of packing, if you're new here, you don't know, but I just sold my house and we bought a condo. We're kind of downsizing because I won't have a basement, basically. We're about 150 square feet smaller than my main floor of the house. And most of that square footage comes out of the bedrooms and my den. Yeah. It is proving to be a challenge, trying to figure out how am I going to fit my TARDIS in my den and my calyxes and my threads. It's not possible to get them all in there. I don't like to be, I don't know about you, but I don't like to be over cramped with furniture. I like space around me. So I'll no longer have a couch for Jack to sit next to me, which is sad, but true. My calyxes are probably going to go in my walk-in closet. And my TARDIS will go in my den. So the majority of my whips will be right next to me. I'm not sure how. A suggestion was to put my TARDIS in my bedroom, and I'm like, I don't think I really want to do that. It's quite boxy and bulky. It's like 37 inches wide and 33 inches deep. Yeah, so that's a big chunk of furniture, really. Anyway, anywho, that is for me to figure out. I think I've kind of figured it out. We'll see. I'm forever moving furniture around, so I'm sure it's going to be like that in the condo. I have a question though. So I need to pack up my TARDIS, and my stitching time is limited now because I need to pack up the house. Yes, I have 7 weeks, but that 7 weeks is going to go by in a blink of an eye. So for instance, this week I'm going to lose pretty much the whole week. So then I'll have 6 weeks left. So I wanted to keep out some projects, but how many projects do I keep out? Which projects do I keep out? I don't know. It is a challenge. I really don't know how to choose. How do you choose? I have over 60 projects. I might have more than that, but you know, who's counting? I'm not counting anymore. Past counting. Anyway, the last project I worked on, because I wanted to put in a lot of stitches, this was on Saturday when I was thinking I'm going to do 24 hours of cross stitch. I'd rather do it back to back to back. But so anyway, we're going to redo that. It's going to be a do-over. But I worked on Link. I really would like to get him done by Christmas if I can. I don't have a cover photo of what he'll look like when he's finished. He's a video character from Zelda, I think. But this is for my grandson. And this is being stitched on a 32 count linen. Can't you tell it's falling apart? But yeah, so this is where I'm at. So I really worked, I put in about 200 stitches all in the green because it was the easiest thing and the quickest thing for me to stitch. Because most of my stitching involves a lot of color changes, a lot of confetti or ninja stitches. So it was nice to, do something a bit different. Anyway, what is my plan for this week, you might ask? So I decided I'm going to take some stitching with me. Of course, I'll take the Wise and Brave, the Haid Sal, the Heaven and Earth Designs Sal. And let me just get this. What do I have here? Sorry about that. Tomorrow I will have the day to myself, so I figured I would try and start Shakespeare's Fairies, which I should have started at the beginning of this month. So I'm going to give that a go. This is the fabric that I'll be stitching this on. And this is a Picture This Plus Lugana, and it's a 32 count. It's kind of a bluey grey, showing more grey here. So I'm hoping that will work. Anything other than the green that is shown in here. And I guess the green represents the forest, I'm assuming. I couldn't understand why green. And then it occurred to me that the green is for the forest that the fairies are running through. So I'm going to try and start that one. I will, while I take my son to the hospital for his surgery, and then I have to pick him up again. I'm going to work on my Hockey Santa by Prairie Schooler. Show you where I'm at with this. Goodness me, it's time this was finished. It's really dragging out a little bit. And there's really no excuse. I'm just doing a bit here and a bit there, and it's not right. So, and I have to get someone to cut me some blocks out, because I want to mount all of my Santas on these wooden blocks that I can stand on my mantle. So this is where I am with this one. Let's move that out the way. Yeah, there's not a huge amount left to do, look. Yeah, I just need to get on it. So then that would be number 5, and I think 5's a good number. I don't know how many black blocks this will be able to be cut out of this shelf I have. I have an offcut of a piece of live edge countertop, and that's what I'm going to use. So there's that one as well. And you'll go, oh, you're being ambitious here. Yes, I am. I'm also going to stitch on this one. This is called In Friendship. It's modern folk embroidery. I haven't stitched on this since the retreat, the Jacob Palooza retreat, which was in 24, I believe. I'll show you. I think this was the retreat piece that Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery created for the retreat. So this is it here. Yeah, don't ask me what the fabric is. I'm assuming it's a 32 count linen. And this is where I'm up to. Oh. The singing machine is my dryer. So this is where I'm at. This is where I got to. I am using, these are the threads that came with it. You got a choice of the red version or this version, which is called Royale. I like blue. So here are the threads by Roxy Flosco. So I thought maybe I could throw some stitches in this one as well, which hasn't seen the light of day for a very long time. So yeah, so there we have it. That is my ambitious stitching for the week. But when I get back, I'll get back late on Wednesday, and then I'll have Thursday, maybe Friday. I play Mahjong on a Friday, and I'm thinking maybe I won't go this Friday because I have to go and pick my granddaughter up on the Friday. It's about 2.5 hours to my son's house on a good day. And this is heading into Toronto. If any of you know what it's like driving anywhere close to Toronto, it's a nightmare. So it could take well in excess of 2.5 hours. But so we meet halfway, which is about 1.25 hours from here. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Whether I will play Mahjong or not, I'm not sure. I guess the week will tell me whether that's going to happen or not. So those are my plans for the week. I will be doing 24 hours of cross stitch starting on June the 1st. Yes, I am. Most definitely. So please come back and see what my progress is in that. I have been busy packing. I've been packing up my den, and it's really crazy messy in here. But this is what I've got thus far. And I have yet to pack up my TARDIS. Not too sure how I'm going to pack this, because I have things in plastic in trays. Like this is some of my fabric in a tray, and it's quite heavy. You know, fabric is quite heavy. And then yeah, so I'm really not sure how I'm gonna pack that, because they don't really stack. They will stack, but they get stuck. So if I'm, yeah, I don't know. That's a future Tricia problem, I think. So I hope you have a phenomenal stitchy week, and I will see you back here on Monday, and I'll let you know how far I got this week in my stitches. I did stitch more this week, never as much as you want to, but I did get more stitches in, about 3,000. So I'm way down on my stitch count. Oh, and a subscriber asked me, how do you count your stitches when you use GoodNotes? The answer is this little guy. He is on my finger like this, and I stitch two-handed. When I pull my needle up to finish the cross, to go back, as I'm going back down, I press this. And it didn't take long to get used to. It's very inexpensive, but I get an idea of how many stitches I'm doing. I find that once 700 seems to be about the average for me, on a good day, let me be fair. 700 is my kind of limit. I did push myself on Saturday and put another 100 in to make it just over 800 stitches. Yeah, but that was because I turned to a blocky kind of project, and so it was easy to get those extra stitches in. So anyway, let me know what kind of app do you use when you're cross stitching. Do you use a paper pattern? Do you use Saga, or what is it, Markup XP? What else is there? Oh, the big one. Yeah, can't think what the big one is that everybody uses. Oh, Pattern Keeper. I had Pattern Keeper. I don't know. I think you get some kind of a comfort level with what you're using to stitch. I don't have a problem with GoodNotes. Even with my Shakespeare Fairies, which is a paper pattern, I will take a photo of that, maybe half the pattern. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I haven't looked at it. But then I upload it into GoodNotes, and away I go, marking off with my finger as I go along, just as you would with Pattern Keeper or Saga. And if I park threads, I color code. Generally, I highlight in a yellow. If I am walking away from the project, but I leave my needle kind of in there, or a thread in there ready to pick up when I come back, I mark that stitch in pink. And if I'm parking a thread, I mark that stitch in blue. Works for me, and it's easy. So anyway, let me know what you use and how you go about your stitching. I'll talk to you next Monday. Have a great stitchy week, and I hope the weather is good to you. Take care. Bye.